Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a project that claims to have found the source code for reality itself. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a massive claim, but it's backed by a really fascinating new way of looking at math and physics. So, at the very heart of this whole thing is a project called Axiom Dynamics, and they're driven by this core philosophy, axiomatic symbiosis. Basically, it means they believe their duty is to push knowledge forward, just for the sake of it. And that principle you'll see guides everything they do. I mean, what if? It's a huge question, right? And Axiom Dynamics says they've got an answer. They think that if you can truly understand the deep mathematical patterns of the universe, you can do more than just describe reality. You can actually design it. You can build it from the ground up. So let's unpack how they even propose to do that. Okay, their main tool is this piece of software called the Aethereum Hub. And inside of it, at its core, is something they call the Weave engine. You should think of it like a digital laboratory, a place where they can play with the actual fabric of mathematical order itself. So, how does this engine work? Well, it's all about weaving together two totally different things. On one hand, you've got pure chaos, something like the infinitely unpredictable digits of pi. And on the other hand, you have perfect order, a totally structured, repeating pattern, like the Fibonacci sequence. Chaos and order. And the way it combines them is, well, it's surprisingly simple. They call it the core folding operation. You just take one digit from the chaos, one from the order, add them up, and then you only keep the last digit of that sum. That's it. This simple little operation, repeated millions of times, is how it mixes chaos and order, digit by digit. The result? You get this brand new sequence of numbers, this unique weave. And here's the cool part. At first glance, it looks just as random as pi did. But that's the trick, because hidden inside all that apparent chaos is a secret, a deliberate, engineered order. And that hidden order leads us straight to the project's key breakthrough, something they call the prime inversion principle. This is where they go from just mixing numbers to actually controlling them. To put it simply, this principle gives them a dial. By picking just the right chaotic source and just the right orderly engine, they can literally turn the frequency of prime numbers, the basic building blocks of all math, either way up or way down inside the weave they create. And the results, they're just staggering. Look at this. In a totally random sequence, you'd expect about 16% of your three-digit numbers to be prime. That's the baseline. But using this method, they've created weaves with almost no primes at all, less than 1%. And they've created others that are jam-packed with them, over 42%. This is not random chance. This is controlled, predictable design. And that right there, that's the breakthrough. For what seems like the first time, they found a reliable way to use the total unpredictability of chaos theory to impose a specific, tunable order on the primes of number theory. It's like building a bridge between two worlds of math that everyone thought were completely separate. Okay, so what's the point? Why create these special number sequences? Why does controlling prime numbers even matter? Well, this is where it stops being about just math and starts getting truly world-changing. You have to imagine that this long string of digits isn't just a mathematical curiosity anymore. Imagine it's a set of instructions, a blueprint for how to arrange atoms in the real physical world. These instructions are used to design something called a hyper-uniform lattice. Now think of a natural crystal. It has a simple repeating pattern, right? Like wallpaper. Well, these lattices are even more perfectly ordered than that. They don't repeat, but every single part of the structure is perfectly, flawlessly uniform. It's a kind of order that you get from pure math, not from messy chemistry. So, this ability to design matter from the ground up with mathematical precision, it unlocks technologies that honestly, until now, have sounded like pure science fiction. First up, a completely new kind of cybersecurity. Right now, our encryption relies on it being hard to factor big prime numbers. The problem is, future quantum computers are going to slice through that like butter. But Axiom's method creates encryption keys based on complex geometry. What does that mean? It means you can change your key or even destroy it faster than a quantum computer can even finish its attack. Next, material science. You know what causes electrical resistance? It's electrons scattering off all the little imperfections in a material's atomic structure. But these mathematically perfect lattices, They could create a path with zero imperfections. That could completely eliminate electrical resistance and pave the way for true superconductors that work at room temperature, no extreme cooling needed. This tech could also completely revolutionize optics and sensors. I mean, by designing materials that can absorb up to 85% of the light that hits them, we could create perfectly efficient solar panels or solar sails for traveling in deep space. We could also build instruments so sensitive they could map the entire planet's gravity field from orbit or even study the cosmos. So, this brings us all the way back to the beginning. Axiom dynamics isn't just about playing with numbers. It's about using a whole new kind of math to actually write the fundamental rules for the physical world. They've basically created a toolkit for engineering reality itself, which leaves us with just one question, really. What should we build first?